Welcome back to your favorite reality show recap. We're going to be talking about Selling Sunset today, and we are so excited. My name is Nicole Hernandez, and I have my friend here, Danielle, also known as It's Your Girl D.
What's up, everybody?
Danielle, how's your day going?
It's good. It's even better because I cannot wait to talk about these girls.
Yes, we both finished the show today, and let me tell you, we got to get straight to it. We got to get straight to it. Okay. First of all, I got to dive right to Nicole because I felt like Nicole was the first person that really pissed me off on the show.
In a long time.
Yeah. And I never liked Nicole in the previous episodes. And I thought they were going to kick her off last season. To even see her back, every time she comes back, I'm like, why is Nicole back? Why is Nicole back? And this time, if you guys saw the show, we're going to be talking about it like you've watched it. But Nicole decided to come to the table and bring up Chriselle's dead parents. Like,
Mm,
who does that?
Nicole?
Nicole, all over some all over some CRACK. I don't even know if you can say that all over some crack. Okay.
Yeah. Let's just call it what it is, okay? And you know what the thing is? Amanda came clean about it. And she was like, yeah, we did it together. She was a model. That's what we did back in the day. And it's like, Nicole, like, exactly, like, call it what it is. It was back in the day. Just be honest with it. Move past it because as soon as you own up to something, nobody can kind of call you out for it. And that's all Chriselle really had to go off of. And so her being so, and I get it, you want to be protective of your image. She
Yeah.
do clients. I understand that. But honestly, they probably don't care. They
They
just want
don't.
home because they're about to do the same thing in their home. So,
And
like,
and literally this season was all about promotion anyway. Everybody was just showing houses all episodes. I'm not gonna lie, some of the house stuff I had to zoom past. Like, let's get straight to it. I honestly thought Amanda was going to put hands on Nicole. I did not foresee Nicole being able to walk out of that place without having to go to the hospital.
yeah, and I think that's why she froze and stayed put. Because 'cause I'm like, "Why is this girl not leaving?" Like, she clearly knows that this is already blown up, like, everyone, Amanda, Mary, like, they're literally telling her to, like, "Shut your mouth and leave," and she would
Leave.
not leave, and, when Amanda got up, I was like, "Ooh."
Oh, like Amanda looks like she has fought some people before. Like she is no, for sure. For sure. She has definitely put them paws on somebody. I Cole walking out without a scratch was just
Miracle in itself.
truly. And
Oh,
then Mary gave her the opportunity to like clean it up. And she was just like, well, like basically like I brought, a gun to a sword fight. Like she she knew that her time was coming to an end, and she felt the best thing possible to do was to just leave guns blazing, clearly. Like, I don't even think this whole we're moving to Tennessee, Texas, whatever she was doing. I'm like, that's been planned, ma'am. You're in real estate and you went out of your way to make this ugly. And I just felt like that was planned to go at her parents. And for somebody who was trying to clean up their reputation, to pick that as your exit strategy was just nasty.
yeah, because just like, Bree had brought up, she was like, there's, things you just don't touch on. You don't talk about the kids, you don't talk about, family, like, you don't attack certain things, and it's one thing to, be upset and be pushed, right? Because
Right.
clearly she felt cornered. She felt like this ongoing, never ending battle with her specifically. And unfortunately, she chose to go below the belt and then use the excuse of, well, Chriselle has talked about how they were drug addicts, but that's not what they even died from. Like, the
Yeah.
poor people died of lung cancer.
Like,
And you be like, oh, well, if you want to say I have a drug problem, guess what? Your parents died from it. And it's who does that? Like, and she knew she was so savage about it, and at that point, there was no going back. Even if she
no
tried
going back.
at that point, she knew she was canceled. She had to stay her ground, like, I don't know.
But I will tell you this. She looked way better than previous seasons. Like the hair, the face, the outfits. Nicole, I would give it to you. You looked way more pulled together this season. And I did appreciate that because oftentimes she would come in there looking a mess.
Yeah, she definitely looked her best. I thought, lit she literally looked like she could continue to go back to modeling. She just
Right.
looked so good, and it's just unfortunate that she ended her career this way with the team. Um, but like you said, this whole move to Nashville, um, was definitely planned. You don't make that big of a move that quickly unless something dire, was going on. But they definitely had that plan. She knew, her time was coming up, and you know what? She went she went out with a bang.
She really did. She went out with a bang. Okay. Next, we got to talk about Emma and this boyfriend situation and what Chriselle did not understand about this boyfriend situation. The boyfriend was rich. And I don't understand what Chriselle did not understand about that. She was not reading in between the lines that the man was rich and that Emma likes money. Like, I didn't understand what Chriselle did not understand about Emma's rich boyfriend.
I think Chriselle, and I think overall for me, she annoyed the hell out of me. I would have been like, dude, shut up. At this point, like, you're my friend. I don't need your opinion. This is what I'm going to do. I have a plan. Sit back. Okay. But I think Chriselle was trying to be too, like, realistic about the situation. And I do think because they were best friends, right? And as a best friend, you just want the best for your friend no matter what. And I think coming from experience and stuff like that, she was generally worried about what this guy could do because
Yeah.
I mean, we're there. Okay, the red flags were waving about this guy. And I would have the same thoughts like, hey, I completely agreed with what she said to look out for, his game plan, how he was gonna move, but at the end of the day, like, Emma's on a totally different playing field than Chriselle, and, Emma was just trying to figure it out, like, he is literally this he's a classic nepo baby.
Yes.
He doesn't work, he doesn't need to work, like, he's waiting to inherit his family's, business.
He's living on a yacht half the year.
Yeah, and Emma is so independent, she's like, "Girl, I got this." Like, even though he's so controlling and trying to, slow me down, I'm still gonna go on with my business. I'm still gonna do X, Y, and Z. And yeah, she definitely wasn't reading between the lines,
Like,
but she
read the plot.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. She was being so annoying about it. Like, read the plot. Like, this is a storyline. This is a real estate heir. And he's goofy, and, like, you're messing up my, storyline. Like, you're just messing up my storyline. You're taking my storyline too serious, and this is not what this was supposed to be. Like, you weren't supposed to take it this dire. You know, like, this was just my storyline. We taped for, like, 4 or 5 months, and, like, this was just supposed to be fun, and she turned it into something so ugly. And, like, what's her name? What's her name? Chelsea totally got it. She was like, "Girl, okay, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Let's go ring shopping." Like,
Let's try on this $2 million ring,
why not?
oh, let me try some things onto it here. Place that beautiful tennis bracelet on me, Jason.
Yeah, like that was the storyline. This was the plot, and like it made me so upset that Chriselle was not able to like read between the lines and mess up her friendship with Emma, because now in the real world they're fighting all day online today. Chriselle has been like posting all this inappropriate stuff that Emma's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, now ex whatever, has posted online, and like, huh?
I heard they're still together.
Oh, okay, wait, I saw that they were possibly back together, and even the season ends with Chelsea being like, "So when are you gonna take him back?"
Yeah, because I think even as much of maybe a planned storyline this started off as, she did say, like, we have been going back and forth for so long. So, and then again, like, and to be honest, Emma has had one of the more boring storylines, and I think this was a chance for her to really, like, oomph it up
Yeah.
and something to really go off of and give the producers something to film, right? And I think drama fed into itself as always, and it did what it needed to do, but, like, Emma is continuously, defending him online, and so I think they're still together because I was snooping a couple days ago, and they still had all their pictures up.
Goodness, I didn't see that. Because when I go on her page, I just only see her. Okay, well, listen, Emma, I don't know. I don't know. Emma, I think what it might just be is Chriselle and her sexuality and all that stuff, she gets so much hate online. So I think for her, she's like, I understand. Maybe from her, she's like, okay, you need the storyline, or maybe you do have this real relationship, but how could you be my best friend and date somebody who's posted online hateful stuff that she feels is towards her and her sexuality? You know, I think that might play a part in it too. Like, why? Understand you need a storyline, but why play around with things that are so hurtful to my community? I think that's where the seriousness might be coming from, Chriselle.
Yeah, I really do think obviously we don't know what happens behind the scenes, off camera, a lot of the time in between, each season and in real time, but something deeper is happening. But at the same time, I feel like if he really meant those things, like if he was trying to take shots at Chriselle, directly and stuff like that, I don't think Emma, as her best friend, would be with someone like that.
Yeah.
I think, like, yeah, maybe he says some unhinged things that Emma's probably like, I wish you wouldn't, but hey, free speech. But at the same time, I think that, like, as her best friend, I would hope is as her best friend, if he was truly taking these nasty shots at her and her community, I really, really hope and think that Emma wouldn't be with someone like that because it's like, that's not even you, you support your friend and you support that community. So why would you be with someone that's so negative and hurtful and nasty, you know? So I don't know. It's kind of hard to figure out what's what because it's like there's so much that we're like, we need more details. Like, where's this stemming from?
Yeah. I think I don't know. From the stuff Chriselle has been posting today, she's been posting like a lot of like things that he's posted or things that he's done to Emma online. So I think she just disliked him so much that she was like, I don't care what the plot is. I think that I don't know. We're gonna find out at the reunion.
Yes, we will. And Chriselle specifically said, after she posted a video of Emma trying to defend her man and clear some of the stuff he may have said.
Go ahead, sorry.
So Chriselle had posted on her story, she like reposted a video that Emma was trying to clear and defend her man and what he had said. And she said on her post that she is gonna wait to see what actually airs on the reunion to continue to speak her truth. So she's waiting to see what is shared with all of us
Yeah.
to continue to clear the air. So I'm ex- I'm excited to see what she has to say and what else is going to come out because that argument looks heavy.
It looks so intense. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is, and I guess we'll just have to wait. And we will be recapping the reunion. That'll be up on Thursday. But anyways, okay. Next up, I want to talk to you about Brie and Mary. Well, I guess we got to talk about Mary, and that'll go into Brie. Mary this season was such a hot mess. And like I always knew Mary was a bit of a hot mess holding it together, but I felt like this season it really went like triple platinum because I get that they're filming a TV show and I get that she became so like just freaked out over the whole robbery and stuff like that. But I think what happened was okay, this is my guess. When Mary was at home with Bree and Bree came over and the Chriselle and the Chelsea Flowergate for
Okay.
Flowergate. o- okay, for Flowergate, I think Mary was drunk. And I think when she was drunk, and I think when the flowers got there and with Brie there, I think she overreacted to the flowers. She didn't play her cards as right as she could have. Because she could have just played her cards really easy. Like, she could have been like, well, I hope this is this, and I would love to turn a new leaf. Like, she could have just, like, played the role that she normally does and tries to keep things cute. And then I think what happened is when they went to that dinner and she brought it up, I feel like she was instigated by Bree to stand 10 toes down and say it with your chest that you felt like the flowers were not, you know, like not like a nice gesture basically, right? And I feel like behind the scenes I feel like Brie is really working the cards. I feel like this is all Brie. This is all Brie putting like batteries in people's back and creating her own little unity because the Chelsea, Emma, and the Chelsea, Emma, Chriselle group, you have to be very confident. You can't be insecure to be in that group. You have to be a very confident person. Mary, I feel like she wants to be considered a big fish. In their group of Emma, Chriselle, and Chelsea, she's not the big fish. And she doesn't like that feeling of not being able to be the big fish because she's supposed to be kind of like the third partner, you know?
Yeah, she definitely, and that's why I'm like, I don't know why she feels any type of way about that because She
Tell me
is
all your thoughts. Tell me all your thoughts, because I'm like,
the she's Jason and Brett's triplet, you know what I
yeah,
mean? She's been there from day 1, like, they practically made her like an office manager, so she really calls a lot of the shots. She still gets the best listings, like, so on and so forth. I just think for whatever reason, like, she just spiraled and could not stop, and I felt so bad for her because she normally and typically is Switzerland. No, she is devil's advocate. And unfortunately, I feel like with all the drama in the office, it's just too divided to where they don't give two shits about Switzerland at this point. Like, they're going to come after each other and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, you know what? We need to continue to make this show bigger and better. We need to like, like get the best ratings, like all that. And I think all of that emulated a lot of the heightened drama because I feel like a lot of the situations this season were a little over dramatic and, like overreactive as well. Granted, from the beginning, like this entire season, she did make it clear that her and Chelsea just did not see eye to eye. They were not gonna see eye to eye, and that was fine. I agree with you that the Flowergate, she could have handled a little bit better. I think since the robberies, I feel like her maybe alcohol intake has increased, and that's how she's coping. And with Bree just kind of, Bree really played um almost like the puppeteer master.
yeah.
And she was like, you know what? Like, I'ma stay cool, Imma be chill, and Imma let you guys literally just fight with each other because I don't care to fight with anybody. Lines have, already been drawn between everybody. So with Mary kind of being her only ally, I would say, and maybe Alana, but Alana's just she's just
Alana
not
is Alana
she's
is
a baby in this.
no, no, no.
And
Alana, somebody in Alana's family is paying Jason and Brett for her to be on the show. That's my guess. APAC, I don't know. Somebody is paying for her to be on the show because sis shouldn't even be there, and she's quiet as kept being replaced by Sandra, whatever. And we're gonna get into Sandra
we
too.
gotta get Sandra.
But yes, she is officially a puppeteer. She has put on the puppet mask, and bringing her sister on the show, her wacky sister.
Okay, that I was like, this is so random. And
Yeah.
she's so private about her family that I don't know, maybe her sister needed a check. I mean, shoot, if someone needed a check, I'd be like, "Yeah, let's film." Like, you know, come on. So random you have nothing to do with real estate. None of the girls.
But I will say Chriselle's sister was on Chriselle's first season too. So I'll give her that. She was on her sister's come in town, and
Open about
oh,
her family though.
yeah, that's true. That's true. They weren't open about anything on their little date.
Talking about like, you try to talk about her baby daddy and she's like,
Yeah.
So that scene was kind of weird, but it was entertaining. It was cute. I got like, okay, now we know what you maybe have looked like before the surgeries.
That's what everybody was thinking. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, "Oh, so
Yeah,
okay."
before and after. Got
Yeah,
it.
before and after. I see. Okay, I see. You
Yeah,
put in a lot of
but
work.
going back to Flowergate, I do feel that like deep down inside, I kind of thought too, like Chelsea could have just sent a text. Uh,
Yeah.
I feel like it was maybe a little calculated that, "Hey, let me send her these flowers," if they happen to be on camera, then at least people can see that, I'm trying and blah, 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 even though we're not friends. But it's like, if you're not friends, like, at all, and not even friendly either, like, they made that very clear at the dinner table, but for me, it would have made more sense if she would have just sent her a text.
Yeah. I
And
do
I
agree. Even a DM.
Yeah, a DM, a text, something like a letter, I don't know, but, something just, like, more private, and it wasn't about, like, you know, spending X amount on, these flowers, but to me, I thought a little bit, just a little bit, was a little calculated in regards to
See,
trying to
I
see.
I think that Chriselle got it wrong on the calculation because it was calculated. It was, "You know what? I'm gonna take it a step further just to try and prove that I'm turning a new leaf and that we can be cordial." Like, it was a very like, I don't think that she knew that the cameras were gonna be there because that stuff is so spotty, right? But I do think she was calculated in the sense of, I'm trying to clean up my image a little bit. I don't want problems with the third manager and Brett and Jason. Like, I do think it was calculated in the sense of like, I'm trying to clean my stuff up a little bit. So I'm going to take the extra step forward because like we don't have any good blood. But I don't think the camera part was there. And I do think if she found out that the camera part is there, she'd be like, oh, okay, cool. So like the viewers can see that blah blah blah. But I don't think it was as deep rooted as Mary felt it was. Like I felt like Mary thought it was like a like slap in the back trying to hit me while I'm down. And I don't think it was calculated in a sense of trying to hit Mary while she was down, like rain on your parade that's your house and your robbery. Like I don't think it was that type of malicious calculation.
Think it was malicious at all. I just think it was definitely just surface level, like, "Hey, let me just try to, you know, do something." But in reality, if you weren't friends with someone, even though you worked with them, but were still very like, they don't even say hi to each other at events,
Right.
that realistic, like, in the real world, would someone send flowers to somebody in that situation?
Right.
Probably not. Maybe if you saw them at the office or, something, go up to them. Like, it was just more, I think Mary's whole point was everything was just being filmed about it to where everyone else's, like, besides Bree, like, showing up and, taking her out and stuff like that, like, everyone else just kinda sent a text and said, "Hey, I'm here for you. I'm, sorry this happened, da da da," and she coulda called it a day that way, so but again, she, I think, just was continuing to spiral. She definitely, as soon as Bree got there, she was already, like, 2 shots in because she took a shot before right before,
She was like
uh
telling her man off. She
yeah,
was
she was
telling her man
about,
off.
like, pouring herself a drink,
Like,
and then
I
Bree
knew she was having issues when Jason said, I'll pay for the therapy.
yeah, which granted, I mean, you can visibly see, and I can't even imagine, like,
Yeah.
being in that situation, and that for sure would mess anyone up mentally, emotionally, like, you're supposed to be in, I'm sure they live in one of the safest neighborhoods in LA, and for that to have happened, and then for your boss to be like, "Imma pay for your therapy."
Yeah.
Okay? Like, for you and your man's, because he, God only knows what he's seen and stuff like that, and, I just love the boys for that because they truly are, like, really good friends with her, and they really do look out after her best interest. So, needless to say, she definitely needed to take a break. I'm surprised she didn't step to the side and tell producers and, Brett and Jason, like, look, I'm gonna take a step back. This is a lot. I can't even leave my house. Like, you know, maybe take a beat
Yeah,
from
take a beat.
take a
Because
beat.
on the last episode, when she goes to Bree's party and completely has a breakdown over seeing Chelsea's name, I'm like, girl, that was like, you need to take a beat. You need to stay home. You need to go to therapy. You are clearly like completely traumatized from this robbery, which we all understand. And like, she's trying to push through. And I think it was a good example that sometimes in life we don't need to push through. We need to sit down.
Yeah, sit down, lay down, like, it's okay.
Therapy.
Because that whole, like, freak out episode, like, I would have thought that Chelsea had, like, threatened her life. It was to that extent, or Chelsea was the one that robbed her. Like, that I feel was a bit excessive. I think at that point, that just shows where her mental state's at, and she needs to just she needs to take next season off,
Yeah.
because that is just, I think for me, it was a bit much just seeing her name and feeling unsafe. And I even saw online that it was posted that there was supposed to be this big finale scene with everybody in the room, and it didn't happen because Mary felt so unsafe around Chelsea.
Yeah, I
Now,
saw that.
w like, I don't know what she expected her to show up with. Like, so was she gonna show up with a weapon and something and hurt her? Like, one, Chelsea's not gonna mess up her nails, okay?
I
First of
know. And Chelsea has two little kids.
okay, and she's got 2 little kids. Like, she will fight with her mouth all day, every day, but I don't foresee her getting physical like that. Now, Amanda and Bree? Now that's a different story, okay?
Different story. Amanda
But
and Bree.
Chelsea, nah, we coulda kept y'all in different rooms and brought you out in different times. They would've, copy pasted, edited, whatever they needed to anyways to make it seem like y'all were in this room at the same time. I don't know. I just think at that point, she needs to relax. But again, they both showed up to the reunion, so how yeah.
It's a mess.
It's
And I'll give it to Chelsea though. This season she really tried to clean up the image and she's trying, and I will give that to her. She gained some weight. Emma um put it out there like, oh, you're in a relationship at the end there, so I'm happy that she's dating again, she's happy again. And I think she's had the opportunity to watch the other seasons back and try to move a little bit more graceful. I think that last season it started off with Chelsea trying to take Mary's job as a manager, you know? So here we are a year later and it's still ugly. Um Next up, Sandra. Sandra, I felt like at first she was one of us and she was trying to get the tea, but then she tried to act like she doesn't watch the show. And I'm like, do you watch the show or do you not watch the show? Like, you're just sitting there trying to get the tea. And then like this whole Sofia Vergara, whatever, and getting into it with Chelsea. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Sandra? Is she gonna
see,
last?
I liked Sandra.
No, I like her. I like her, but I don't foresee this being good for her.
I don't foresee this being good for anybody, okay? Like, this is one of the worst toxic working environments I have ever seen. I would be shocked if they do not have any type of complaints, lawsuits on the toxicity in that place, but you know what? They they know what they might be signing up for when they do this. So,
I don't
you know
know,
what?
'cause Sandra
You
tried to act like she doesn't watch the show.
I felt like she understands maybe the entertainment business, and what you see is not always what's really happening. So I think for me, it felt like what I would do in her position, I would just try to figure it all out. She was trying to figure out like the dynamics, the relationships, like how bad is this really to where y'all can't get along. So when she was going on these one-on-one dates with everybody, trying to get to know them, trying to figure out like what's what, because of course there's two sides to every story, trying to get to the bottom. And I do think that maybe producers had a little something to do with her being such a little investigated bunny, because I felt like a lot of the scenes was her trying to get information out from everybody.
Yeah.
Um,
And then they, like, edited just the parts of her trying to get information.
yes,
They
that's
made her look so messy.
so messy. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so, um, when she got along with Bree, I was like, okay, interesting. I didn't really foresee her being that close to Bree, like right off the bat. But then again, I think she just related to Bree in a sense that like they're both very bold women, and they don't like the messiness of everything. It's like, what you see is what you really get, and I'm gonna speak my mind, and I'm gonna share my opinions. And I think she got a lot of um maybe less BS from Brie. Um, her interaction with, or her argument with Chelsea was interesting, because
Yeah.
what Chelsea tried to like put her in her place, like, this is none of your business and you shouldn't be asking da 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 da. It's like, look, she's just trying to get to know everybody. She's just trying to figure out like whether she can maybe facilitate something. Again, she's the new girl, she doesn't know much. And if you don't want to talk about this on camera, or, bring stuff up again, I think Chelsea could have said it differently. Because she did come at her kind of hard and was like,
Chelsea was like, listen here, listen here. You
like,
know, if you don't know what you got yourself into, then I don't know what to tell
yeah,
you.
like Chelsea was literally the new girl not that long ago. So it's
Yeah.
like, have some grace for the new people, and maybe be like, hey, like, I'm not really down to talk about this. Um, but who knows?
Or I feel like Chelsea could have been like, Brie doesn't like me. I'm sure Brie would not like me to be there, because I feel like Sandra didn't have that same energy for Brie when she told Brie like she's not going to be able to come, and Brie was like, "Yes, well, yeah." And I'm like, Sandra, you don't have that same energy for Brie. Brie's celebrating that uh Chelsea can't come either. So I don't know if show wise Sandra's playing her cards right though, because if one, I guess it's obvious she didn't watch the show. But if I were to come into that show, I would not be partnering with Brie. I don't know. You would, well, I could see you partnering with Brie. I could see that. I could see that, and I can see why. But I could not see myself partnering with Brie. I would be trying to be best friends with Chriselle.
I don't know. Chriselle kind of bugged me this season.
Look, at bug me or not, Chriselle is locked in. Okay. She's like, listen, I'm using this house. I'm using this platform to sell houses, and I'm going to stick beside it. Okay. and I believe in having an income, and I'm not moving to Australia. So listen here, buddy. We're on for the long ride." Bree, on the other, she almost quit her first season because of the pay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. I
So,
don't
or but Bree is playing her cards right because she's locking in with Mary.
that's what I'm saying. I would be trying to be best friends with Mary and
Yeah,
Jake Brett.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. The other situation I thought was interesting was, and I think this was maybe what solidified Chriselle really bugging me, was when Sandra went to go see her $28 million listing. And she, was trying to talk to her, and she said she felt as if Chriselle was very like sure and um like passive aggressive with her. And she kind of called her out and said, "Hey, like, do you have an issue with me? Like, what's going on? Because I'm feeling this negative vibe. You're very resistant." And for Chriselle to be like, "No, I've been very lovely to you. Da 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 da." Like, first of all, Chriselle, no, you have a problem. And then it comes out all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, if you want to go there, let's go there." And then like gets her phone and was like, "Do you know this person?" And it was like, "No, like who is that?" And she like then comes out with it that this was her assistant that lived in a building with her, who apparently accused of missing keying her car. Oh, Chriselle, when someone you, if there's an issue and they call out the weird tension vibe between you, she could have been honest and said, "You know what? Yeah, I apologize for maybe being distant, but here's my connection with you."
yeah,
And, could have brought it up, and instead of doing the song and dance and then trying to call her out and, like, go after her for this when she's like, you could have just kindly brought it up. She would have told you that she had no idea who that was, that she would never do that, like, you know what I mean? And again, it's like, 1, unless the assistant had proof that Sandra took the key and keyed this car, you I mean, granted, you wanna believe what people are saying, but who knows why she accused her of all people. I mean, for all we know, could have been Sophia. I mean, they look quite the same, you got the wrong Vagara, okay?
yeah.
And so that was my issue, was that Chriselle tends to try to play this like, I'm so open and honest and blah 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 like card. It's like, well, she literally asked you a question and you lied about it until you were like, "Oh, this is my chance. Now I'm gonna explode for the scene." But, and then after she was like, "No, well, okay, it's fine." Once you saw, Sandra crying about it, which I don't know why Sandra was crying about it. That was like kind of extra because I don't know. I wouldn't
Yeah,
that was just kind of weird.
the
I would never
crying
do
was
that.
like,
Yeah, that was a little extra. I think she definitely maybe put a little bit more there. But yeah, I was just like, Chriselle, like, that was just not a good look for you. But, I just feel like Chriselle always feels like she's getting attacked and picked on and always having to defend, her life, her partner's life, and like all the things that she's a little more on edge when issues arise per se. But yeah, I feel like Chriselle could have handled that a little differently and just been honest from the jump. Um,
Chriselle
but
was definitely on edge. She was definitely on edge, and she didn't know she was definitely on edge, and I don't know. This reunion, I feel like, is gonna answer a lot of questions, and we'll probably be able to get down to it. It'll be interesting to see how Sandra's role improves next season. I hope she gets a listing or something. Um, and uh, before I forget, Mary has turned off all her comments on Instagram.
Interesting.
Mary, because I went over there to check because I was like, they're probably frying Mary up. That her comments are turned off. I'm sure it's over Flowergate and the last scene of blowing up at Valentine's Day. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this reunion, and I hope we get the next season sooner than later. Like all this stuff happened last year. Um, holiday.
That's like holiday, yeah, because they
Yeah.
had Girls Giving, and
Yeah.
then definitely we're starting filming, I would say, maybe even like, because again, they could have filmed that at any point, so maybe October,
Yes, but they had Friendsgiving and they had Valentine's Day.
and they had Valentine's Day, yeah. And then
So
I think a lot of it got paused and pushed back because then we had the fires that unfortunately happened, and I'm sure that stopped filming production because they all live in the area. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so hopefully, um, we get our seasons back to normal. But I'm so excited for this reunion. Have so many questions that we need answered. We need more details on what's happened since filming. Um, because good lord.
It from the previews of the reunion, it doesn't look like it gets anything gets doesn't feel like anything gets resolved.
Girl, no, from the stories that were popping off today. No- Nothing is being resolved and is not going to get resolved because people are waiting for the reunion to air to continue to air some stuff out. So,
So that's going to be interesting. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap as much as we did, and we will see you later this week to go over the reunion. Thanks again for watching.